All right. So this video is for all real estate agents, teams, groups, brokers, or even real estate developers that want to figure out how to take a stranger on the internet and basically turn it into an actual sales or transaction. This is what we call the rabbit hole. So to break it down, my name is Steven Matsumoto. We've sold over $5 billion in sales from online leads in real estate, and we've spent over $50 million just in ad spend. I've helped many agents from all sizes, not just top producers, but we've helped agents grow to top producer status. So knowing all this, I want to show you exactly how we do it. So there's 6 layers. 3 of them are the online layer. So someone sees you on the internet. We have to send that traffic somewhere. We have to send it either to your YouTube channel, to your Facebook page, to your Instagram, to your DMs. The goal is that we send that traffic somewhere. My recommendation is you own your website. Yeah, that is your front digital presence online. From there, when somebody makes it to your website, you actually need to capture some type of information, and you need a name, email, phone number, which we call a lead. So over the years, I realized this is digital marketing. Digital marketing is this side. This is the online side. So these are the first 3 layers online. You could have multiple traffic sources. You could send wherever you like. You could send it to your Instagram DMs. You could send it to your YouTube channel, whatever the case may be. I'm going to dive in details in each of these layers and all the possibilities and the means to the madness. Because at the end of the day, everything has its main focus. And if we're not creating everything correctly, then one little piece is missing, it all falls apart. It could still work. You could still ride a bike without a spoke, but I'm pretty sure the chain not working, you're going to be da-da-da-da-da-da. So you definitely want speed, optimization, and a marketing system in place that is actually predictable, functioning, and trackable. You can track everything from beginning to end. So when somebody actually fills out the form, you need a CRM or database. Again, you could have multiple CRMs. There's tons of CRMs: Salesforce, Top Producer, Follow Up Boss, HubSpot, whatever the case may be. And again, even for websites, there's tons of platforms. You could build on GoDaddy, WordPress. There's multiple website providers. You can get things all the way from softwares like Boomtown or Lofty to websites from companies like Trem Group, Luxury Presence, or these are real estate website companies. So these are all different options. I'm going to dive deep into each one. But the biggest problem with digital marketing, whether it's for real estate or any type of business, is people stop at the lead. And not only do they stop at the lead, everybody looks at it, hey, let me get in front of thousands of people, X amount of people. Let's say everything is 1%, right? So in front of 10,000 people, that means 100 people will make it to my website, or 1,000 at 10%. So out of those 1,000 people, 100 people will get to my database. Out of those 100 people, 1 person should buy. That's how people think digital marketing works. And the problem is, I'm not sure if my brain just works backwards. You have to think, in order to get to a sale, from the very beginning, the person seeing me on the internet has to be able to do a few things. First of all, they have to have the want or necessity to purchase what I'm selling. Second, they have to have the ability to afford what I'm selling. We don't want to get test drives for Ferraris from a homeless person. Nothing against the homeless. We definitely have to help the homeless, but they just can't afford a Ferrari. And then the third variable is, are they buying now? The timeline of purchase. So over the years, we built this map, and I'll explain what each thing means. There is a means to the madness and everything. Really, these are the important variables you have to understand in the beginning. Your traffic source, where are you sending your traffic, your database, and the transaction. But what we realized, this is only half of it. This is the digital marketing side. There is an offline side. There is a sales process. And that's what this tiny little line right here represents. So over here is layers 4, 5, and 6. So if I just switch my screen real quick, whoop, there we go, not that one. So good thing we're recording, right? So this is the one. So this is the stages. And here layers 4, 5, and 6, layer 4, layer 5, and layer 6. My bubble's in the way. Is the offline side. How do we actually take a lead to a conversation? Somebody answers. Hey, it could be the wrong information. Hey, I'm so sorry, John, you have the wrong number here. whatever the case may be. We're always trying to clean our list. All we're looking for is for the people that are going to end up as a transaction. So from there, from a conversation, we just want to make sure that, yes, they're actually interested in what we're selling. In this case, it's real estate, whether it's resales, pre-construction, condos, houses, whatever the case may be. We'll get into that in a second. But the minimum thing we're always looking for is to qualify a lead. They have to be, like we mentioned, within the price point. If I'm selling houses at least that start at $700,000, then they can at least are interested in buying at least $700,000 plus. Are they in my farming area? Right now, I'm in Coral Gables, which is a neighborhood in Miami. So if I were an agent farming this neighborhood, is the person buying in Coral Gables or nearby within the vicinity? And then timeline of purchase. For us, return on investment, if you look at our 5 pillars, time and money, the key component is that I make my return on investment at least minimum 2x return, and we'll get into the formula of what that means, in less than a year. So I really want to work with people buying less than 6 months, less than 3 months. So if the person I spoke to is interested, they say yes to all 3. If they say no to 1, it's a low quality lead. The goal is to actually meet the person face to face. So this is our main objective, to be actually showing properties. Of course, we want you to be showing properties to somebody that, like we mentioned, anybody can say, hey, I can buy a $5 million house, but then you actually meet them, you see what they're wearing, you see their demeanor, their mannerisms, and hey, can they actually afford a $5 million house? And then by the time you actually see their bank account and you're qualifying for the down payment, whatever the case may be, in our case, that is a high quality lead. Of course, we want our clients to go under contract and the deal to close, but the most important thing about all this is that we can optimize everything with this process. We see exactly the ad they came from, the keyword they came from. If it's Google search, most of the time we'll get into that. How Zillow and Realtor and Redfin and Trulia and all these companies made billions. They're publicly traded companies just from being in the Google search. And how AI is changing everything. How we basically want to make sure that we're always at the top. The thing is, SEO, as many people hear about, people have a huge misconception of what SEO is, or what the objective is. So we'll have a whole nother video on SEO. I'll give you an entire checklist of what you should look for, what you should ask your agency, and really so you're not getting sold snake oil. But besides SEO, unless you're creating content, I'm creating this content right now for the exact same purpose. This is not the future of marketing. This is marketing. It's no longer me selling you. It's me showing you exactly how it works from beginning to end. And then it's up to you, the educated consumer, to see, hey, either you want to work with me and you like what I have, or you don't want to work with me and don't like what I have. Super simple. I'm trying to connect with the people that want my services, understand what I provide, and understand the value of what they're getting in this system. So going back to the rabbit hole, we have our different traffic sources. So you can run ads on Meta, you can run ads on Google search, you can run ads on YouTube, you can run ads on display, you can do LinkedIn ads, you can do Reddit ads, you can do offline things. Even if you're sending postcards or things like that, and you have a QR code tracking, where are you sending those people? How are they going to contact you? Are they calling you? So yes, over the years, we understand that the goal is to even skip steps. So going from some stranger and just having a conversation. I had a client, I was on the phone with him yesterday. He was telling me, once I talk to them, I'm going to close them. But in order to speak to somebody, you first need their information, or the goal is, hey, maybe they even reach out to you. So we can't skip steps. Phone calls. The main objective is not necessarily that we can only capture a form fill, but what is the point of all this? The point of all this is to generate a transaction. So layers 1, 2, and 3, the online half, are the traffic. Where are you sending that traffic? In this case, I highly recommend a website. You need a website. That's basic 101 marketing. Your website is your digital online presence. It's your footprint. And then once you're on that website, you need to actually capture the information. So let's go through this entire process step by step, and I'll show you. So I go to Google. I type in a keyword. So in this case, if I'm doing resales, it would be Coral Gables homes for sale. I'll give you a couple other pre-construction options on how this works. you know what? So somebody would type in something like that. So you see right now, I'm not signed in. So it's showing me the organic at the top. But most of the time, 99% of the time, people are signed in. They're just trying to incentivize you here in this case so that you sign in. But the way we're able to beat Zillow, Realtor, and Redfin for these high quality keywords is through ads. And I'm going to show you in a second. When it comes to resale, you want three components. You want a sub area. You don't want the major urban areas. The major urban areas, wherever you are. In this case, Miami would be the major urban area, or even Miami Beach. It could be New York City. It could be Nashville. It could be Los Angeles. It could be Austin, Texas, whatever the case may be. You want to go after your sub communities. So like that, you're able to control what price point. In Coral Gables, there's no homes below 800,000. It's just not available. So you want your property type. Homes could be more like properties. You could type in houses. If you only wanted to sell houses, there are condos below that $800,000 price point. So it's all about how much you segment. So just by correlation, someone searching a house in this neighborhood is familiar with the neighborhood, knows the name of the neighborhood, has most likely been here. They know the property type they want, and they have buyer intent. When we're paying for the ads, we want to make sure. Now let's go and do it while I'm logged in so you can see the ads. You might see a couple things here for some of my clients, so we'll just go ahead and just jump down. But you see, here we go. Even Redfin and Realtor are running ads for this keyword, proving that even they're scared because they want to be ahead of Zillow. So no longer the days of being number one in Google search are enough, especially for the highest quality keywords. So when it comes to pre-construction condos, for the case of this video, I'll just pick any random video. So, I mean, any building. So Mercedes, make sure we're in Google. Mercedes-Benz, and make sure you type in residences because you want to make sure I'm not searching for a car, right? So Mercedes-Benz. And why don't I need buyer intent when it comes to a pre-construction? Because there's nothing there. In a resale building, there's Amazon, there's Uber Eats, there's deliveries, there's directions, there's the pool, there's the front desk. In a pre-construction, most likely the people searching are only searching to purchase because there's nothing there. So again, look, a developer's running ads, another developer. That's actually my client. He's the one that's probably going to give me a testimonial. If you saw my Instagram video yesterday, the Mandarin Oriental Residences one. This is who I was referring to. So you see, he's running ads for Mercedes, and he's competing directly with the developers. What the developers don't know, this is a little insider secret. So if you're a developer and you want to sell your project, don't promote your project directly at the keyword level. Do it by the time you capture the person's information. Remember, the biggest problem with most business owners is they're always trying to sell their stuff and promote their stuff and buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Even our own company was guilty of this, and that's literally why I'm making these videos, is to show you. I'm in the marketing department, not the sales side. So I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to show you how it works, how we work, who we are, what we do, and how this entire process works. Again, the purpose of this video is how to take a stranger on the internet to an actual transaction. There's so many things just in each layer, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, that I'm going to need multiple videos for each one. This is just a basic overview. I have coined the term the rabbit hole. So the rabbit hole is how you take a stranger on the internet to an actual transaction, the customer journey from beginning to end, and to teach it to any business owner. In e-commerce, it was slightly easier because you could add a credit card and, hey, make a $50 purchase, $200 purchase, whatever the case may be. In real estate or any service-based industry where you actually have to meet your clientele, first you need to have their information and then a conversation, then actually qualify to see if you both need to work with each other. And then from there, an actual relationship before it even becomes a transaction. So we'll get into the nitty-gritties of why these developers should not be doing this. And we work with many, many developers. All over the country for sure, and a couple in other parts of the world. So we've helped sell out their projects, at least 25, 50% of their projects just from online leads that didn't even know their project existed. So if you're a developer and you want to sell out your project, give us a call and we'll show you how we can do it. Or that's why we're making these videos, so you can do it yourself. We know this process works. We know the devil is in the detail. So I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page with our clients. So these videos are for new team members that want to learn more in detail about how it works from different departments. We have many different departments, from success managers to marketing managers to designers and developers and deployers. So it's important as a team member that you understand how all of this works from each perspective. And then, of course, our active clients. Maybe you're an active client and you just want to dive in deeper to this entire process and see how the rabbit hole works in detail. So remember, they have to see you on the internet. They have to get to your website. They have to become a lead in your database. And remember, not every lead is good. The goal is that we find those little golden nuggets. Once they become a lead in your database, we actually need to speak to somebody. Once we speak to somebody, are they actually qualified? And then once they're actually qualified, we actually have to meet the person and make sure they really, really are who they say they are. I have tons of stories. Don't worry. There's plenty of content. Good, bad, ugly. It's not all about the tons of case studies we have of millions of dollars in GCI for our clients. It's not just about that. I will tell you the 10 years of craziness and chaos. Not all the $50 million spent was just making money. We had to figure this out. So we figured it out so you don't have to. So the last thing I just want to mention in this entire rabbit hole, if you are a real estate professional, this is probably something you've experienced. If you built a beautiful, luxurious website, so you can get traffic. This is usually where a lot of marketing agencies stop, impressions and traffic. They get traffic to your website, but I've heard from the 2 luxury website companies that I know that are not us, Trem Group, they don't even get to this spot. Their bottleneck, which again, there's another book called The Bottleneck on how we actually unclog wherever you're stuck. But first, let's learn about the rabbit hole before I can dive in deeper on the bottlenecks. So for luxury website companies, we hear it. And I want to mention something. It's not simple building a website. Like we may think it is. It's actually a whole thing in itself, building you a luxury real estate website. That is just this entire department right here, this entire section. And remember, anyone you can outsource to, I don't know, South America or Eastern Europe or I don't know, India, and you could do all these things up here. It doesn't mean that it works correctly. 4 out of 5 digital marketers in the e-commerce sector and other sectors are not profitable from ads. So not only are we part of that 20%, we're part of the 1% or less 0.1% of that 20%. So I just want to make sure that everybody here understands, even digital marketers, professional people that say they do what we do, don't do what we do. And that's why I'm here to show you detail by detail, step by step, every piece of the pie. So the luxury website companies don't get past this. If you get a lead, it's most likely from your network, somebody searching your name and by chance filled a form. The next level of options that we see, like we mentioned, are the cookie cutter websites. So the cookie cutter websites could possibly get you some leads. As far as conversations, it's random. I've heard every now and then they might get an interested person that buys, but it's not a system. It's not predictable. It's not a scalable solution. It's what we call spray and pray. And then the major issue with those cookie cutter boom towns, KV Cores, Y Lopos, is you lose all your luxury. So if you're in the luxury market, you will absolutely lose that effect. They won't know the difference between, yes, you'll have pretty pictures of some properties on there, but they won't know the difference between you and the guy selling $200,000 homes. So that's the cookie cutter. And then the third option that most people have in the real estate industry is going and doing ads with Zillow or Realtor. So that is the only option I've seen where you will get actual transactions and deals. But the major issue is you're not building a business or brand. If anybody listens to Tom Ferry or follows Tom Ferry or any type of coach or any business guru that, of course, we trust and actually follow. I mean, the other ones copy each other all the time. That's my biggest problem while I'm creating this content is all my competitors try to copy our content, but they cannot do what we do. And if you're my competitor watching this, hey, we're giving all the secrets away. Good luck. Have fun. We spent 10 years and $50 million in ads, plus a couple other million just building our tech. So have fun. But besides that is Tom Ferry says, build a business, build a brand, scalable. I'm not saying, hey, you might love your brokerage today, but you don't know if you're going to be there forever. That's why we recommend own your domain. Own your domain name, own your website. Own your website does not mean own the scripts and the ones and zeros and binary code on there. It means actually own the domain you buy in GoDaddy. So you want to own that. And of course, you want to own the data and things like that. If you're not too techie, hey, no worries. We're in the process of creating all this content so you can learn, or have somebody in your marketing department watch this so that they can explain to you what it all means. So I hope you've enjoyed. We're creating more content. Watch the playlist. I'll break down the digital transformation. That's the actual process from beginning to end over a year, stage by stage, step by step, of what you should do if you want to do this all yourself, what specialists you'll need to get this done, what softwares you'll need, how much the softwares will cost, how much you should spend in ad spend if you want X amount of leads. So we're breaking it all down. That's the wheel, the formula. Right now, we just started with the rabbit hole, how we actually take a stranger to actual transactions. I invite you to watch our podcasts, to watch our testimonials, case studies. We have plenty of them. And if you're hiring a marketing agency, I definitely think you should ask them to show you. That is the magic word. So if Nike's just do it, my motto is show me. You do SEO, show me. Show me the results. You can produce a money-making machine, show me. Show me the results. I don't know if anybody here is a Matrix fan. Neo goes, hey, I know Kung Fu. Morpheus goes, show me. So 2025 and 2026 is coming up. That should be your motto, especially if you're doing marketing, whether you're hiring an in-house marketing person, whether you're hiring an agency, whether you're hiring an intern, whatever the case may be. Intern might not have as much experience, but show me what you have done already. So nonetheless, thank you again, everybody, and have a wonderful day.